Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I hope you're somewhere enjoying some sort of spring day. It is a little cloudy here, a little cool. We had a couple days of rain, but it's all right. I wanted to talk a little bit today because my last video was, why are we awake? And I'm kind of feeling like part of that is a lot of confusion to do with religion. And I can only speak from my own experience. I came here in September 21, so just before the convoy hit, but I was unvaccinated and losing friends and family by the dozens every day. Probably not the dozens, bit of an exaggeration, but you get the picture. When I first got here, I was looking for some way to fit in. I had just been through an extremely traumatic experience in Waterloo. If you've watched my first videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I started going to a church here that didn't require you to wear masks and didn't require you to have a vaccine pass. So it gave me a space where I really fit in. And then when the convoy got here, the convoy really boosted this church up. Everybody was going. It was standing room only on Sundays unless you got there at like 8:30 in the morning. It was truly an experience all the way around. So I decided to get baptized. I'd been a Protestant my whole life, but never really read the Bible or followed a Christian life. I kind of was an atheist and figured, well, you only live once. Like everybody kind of thought, even though all along there was so many things in my life to say this isn't it, but no one wants to believe that. So I just kind of kept that bit of information to myself. So all through the last bit of 2021 and all through 2022, probably into 2023 and 24, I believe. I was really dedicated to this church, and I loved the familiar faces, and I really felt like it was a bonding experience for me. And I, for the first time in my life, started believing in God. And then fast forward to October 7th, and Israel was attacked by Hamas, quote unquote, and the world kind of turned upside down. And I made a comment online, I think it was on Facebook, that one dead baby was one too many, and I didn't care about what side of the war you were on. Children dying is children dying, and every human on the planet should have a problem with it. My church did not agree with me. In fact, the minister's or pastor's wife, came at me hard and said I was going to go to hell for having an opinion like that. And then everything kind of started coming into effect. Like a friend of mine noticed that they're playing Israeli music at the church, and you weren't really, definitely were racist towards Muslims. And there was this whole division that I felt we were being kind of, well, I don't know the words, but you get my message. it turned me against that church, and I didn't go back since. So it made me really kind of broken inside, because I had found this space in which I thought I belonged, in which I was a part of, and yet for stating something so, I want to say small, but it wasn't small. It was actually really huge. And I felt like it was small. I felt like it was something that everybody on the planet agreed with me. And by the way, other comments in the conversation suggested that most people agreed with me. But again, it was a cutting off from that, a separating. And since then, I've kind of been like, because I believe in the oneness, this whatever it is, I think each one of us has a little bit of divinity that something outside of this is trying to grab hold of, and that's what they're feeding off of. So no fear is really important, not to feed the fear machines, you know what I mean? So I believe in that kind of divinity, that kind of spirit. However, when it comes to God and who created us, I'm kind of in this catch juxtaposition, because I feel like on one hand, I believe in this good part of us, and then on the other hand, I believe that we were created as a slave race. You know, we have all these things, the reptilians, the Anunnaki, the Pleiadians, you know, all these things. And, you know, I've always, well, not always, since, you know, 2020, I haven't believed that we've ever been to the moon. Now, my opinion has changed again. And I believe, yes, we have been to the moon. But not with Apollo rockets. That whole thing in the 60s was a shit show. And not real, not real. Now, why they did this I'm not sure. You know, all these little loopholes and little bits of information that you get and that you try to compartmentalize into spaces that you can understand and bring into your reality realm, I guess, because I still pray. So I catch myself, well, who are you praying to? You know, if you think God is this evil thing that created us to be slaves, or that an alien race created us for this purpose, then where in all this does this fit in? Because if it was something that was so bad, because I can't believe that humans would do the things that other humans are doing to people right now. Like, you know, no other animal on the planet hurts their young. And, well, I shouldn't say that. Well, lions will eat them. But, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just, it's hard to struggle with the why. Why are we all waking up at the same time? Why are we realizing that there is so much more to any of us than we ever imagined? And so much darkness coming into the light. Like the Epstein files. Oh my goodness. Like, it's one thing to understand that this guy was a sex trafficker, but that was really a little small, tiny slice of what Jeffrey was. I mean, when you understand that Ghislaine Maxwell was a pilot, a submarine captain, she did like deep sea diving. She had this whole fascination with Atlantis. She was so much more. She was probably more to do with the plugging of people than Jeffrey was. Jeffrey was probably, you know, with her for whatever purposes, but that wasn't all to do with sex trafficking. That kind of was like an after part of it. And lastly, I wanted to talk just a smidge about Donald Trump and his ballroom. Like, how many times can we see ballroom, ballroom, ballroom? I need a goddamn ballroom. Yeah. You know what? I need food on my table. I need to pay my rent. I need to buy dog food for my dog. You know, and all in the, like, that's so open now. It's right in your face. Na 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 boo boo. We can do whatever we want. You get screwed. La 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 la. Yeah. Right in your face. Yeah. Catherine Levitt. Oh, there's going to be some shots fired tonight. Uh-huh. Yeah, I bet. And we're all just supposed to buy that that's not staged. Right? Like the last Trump assassination attempt. And you know what? Some people lost their lives for that stupid false flag that they play on us. Let alone like things like 9/11. Oh my gosh, I'm getting started. And I didn't mean to go down here, but honestly, ballroom, B-A-A-L. These things are evil that's happening all over the world. We're all seeing it real time. Everything's a little bit confusing. But you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful I get to be here. I'm so grateful I get to watch all this. I'm grateful that I have the mind that I do, that I can see the programming a mile away. You know, I was watching Fringe the other night. I don't know if you remember this show, but it was like from the 90s or early 2000s, maybe. No, probably the late 90s. And they're having a conversation in the World Trade Center. And the one guy says to the FBI agent, you know, these buildings might not be here someday. Okay, so Kat just jumped on my bed. Dawson, who gets so jealous that he's like, na 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 na. Yeah, bop, bop, bop. So, crazy, right? One day these buildings just might not be here anymore. Yeah. A little bit of a wacky world we're living in. But, you know, really, you just keep plugging forward. I really am grateful I get to be here. And I'm excited to see the next blip, the next